gonna cut. Okay, stop right there. She's gonna make a basket cut looking for the ball, and she got it even probably a little deeper into the lane than I'd like. If you get to here and you don't have the ball yet, plan to get out of the lane. If you're here and you start looking to get out of the lane now, you're taking way too long to get back out. If you don't have the ball by the time you're here, come on, you're not going to be able to push from your bounce pass. If you don't have the ball by the time you're here, the chances you catch the ball in stride and one for the layup here are not as good. Okay? Maybe you have a player that can come through and make a little nice sweeping wrist shot around the basket. That'd be great if you have those, but if not, if that player gets to that bottom hash mark, you want them cutting all the way through. Whenever we fill these spots, we're going to fill them from the baseline up. So Colleen pass over here. Okay, Corinne started down, she filled up, Allie filled up to the top. Pass. Amanda passes, she cuts to the basket. Everybody goes from the baseline up, she's going to go all the way through. Olivia passes. Okay, she's going to cut. Now stop. Okay, there is no spot from the baseline up to fill here. So Olivia has to go back out to the spot she came from. So she's going to make a good hard cut. If she gets to the block and doesn't have it, she's sprinting right back out to the spot. So every cut is a sprint. She doesn't get it by the time she gets to the paint. Okay, we don't want her cutting all the way through here. 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3. All of a sudden, if you got a ref that maybe doesn't like you, and I know we play a lot of Massachusetts tournaments, you might get that call. You might get that ref that said, that player cut through, she never came out of the lane, it took too long. So she's going to get here. If she doesn't have it, she's popping right back out to get back out to that spot and pass. Allie's going to set her defender up. She's going to cut. She's going to go through. Olivia goes up. Good. Go ahead. Pass, cut. Pass, cut. So very cuts. Come up to the top. Good, good, good. There we go. Good. Fill the spots. Perfect. Make sure we're patient. Make sure we're patient. Fill the spots. Good. Pass, cut, cut. Good. Good, 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 good. Speed it up a little bit, just a little bit, just a little bit. A little bit, good. You got me. Spot filled, cuts up just a little bit. Good. Cut, pass back out, good. Cut, pass back out. Good, good. Good. All right. Now, in the event of a skip pass, okay, you can do the pass 9 times out of 10. It's going to be denied, yes? One pass away from denied. Does anybody not do that? I didn't think so. Okay, so one pass away from denied. If the ball gets skipped, whether it's wing to wing, whether it's top to corner, whether it's corner to top, the ball gets skipped, the player stops. The player that gets skipped is going to act as if they pass the ball and make the basket cut. So, if the Liberty's defender is here, and the skip pass happens, naturally, they're going to see the ball in flight, they're going to start here, they're going to turn to be one pass and out of here. Now, if Liberty makes her cut, she makes her basket cut, now you have a defender in pursuit. All right? With a clear lane, if that person that gets skipped becomes the cutter, they're going to find themselves open a lot. Okay? So go pass the cut again, add some skip passes in, make sure you know who's cutting. Huh? Go. Cut, cut, cut. There we go. Good. Fill, fill, fill. Out. Good. Cut, fill. Cut. Skip, skip, cut, cut, cut. There you go. Good. Fill here, good. Good. Pass, cut, cut. Cut, cut, good. Good. Communication becomes very important. Okay, because you might have an offensive player that falls asleep. They're not sure. They're still learning. So make sure. Keep going, guys. Keep going. So make sure that when you teach this to your players, whether it's just drills in practice or an offense you're going to use, make sure that they're talking to each other all the time. The passer should be calling out the receiver's name. The receiver should be calling for the ball. If you have players off ball that are seeing something go on that should be happening that isn't happening, tell them that they have the freedom to open their mouth and let those players know. Okay? Skip, cut, lift, put forward, good. Cut.
Yep. Just a point of emphasis that we've had a lot of problems with. When you do passing cuts, a lot of times what's going to happen is as soon as passing the ball, as soon as you get catch, first thing kids want to do is put the ball on the floor. So we're having problems with as soon as I catch, kids want to start to drive. But if Amanda passed it, she's cutting into the lane. So I can't put the ball on the floor and start to make the next move until I've let that play develop. So as soon as I catch, I've got to let the cutter I catch, if I start going into dribble drives, everyone's going to get screwed up on the lanes. It has to be patience. You have to let everyone fill their spots and then look to attack the next time.
I follow that logic, except if your defender lunges a little bit, I'd be teaching my girls you got to go as soon as you defend your lunge.
I would say you can go if you're going to score.
Absolutely.
So, if I know I've got my girl beat and I'm going to take a layup, I never tell a kid not to do that.
Right.
But if you're catching just for the sake of, you know, I caught and I'm putting the ball on the court because I'm making the next move, that's when it gets too congested. But sure, if you're going to catch and score, that's always priority number one.
And again, drills in practice, patience. When they catch the ball on the floor, they're going to start getting used to looking for that cutter. If it's not there, if they see that defender lunging, they're just going to go. They should just know, if you've got the circle motion, they should know that when they catch the ball, they've got to sweep and go. You go and you take the layup. Okay? But in practice, for the sake of drills, you've got to make sure that they're patient and that they know the spots and they know how to fill them before they start doing things that are beyond their realm of comprehension within the offense just yet. Question?
Are you calling, obviously it's much different between the passing and the cutting here versus the dribble drives. Are you, as a coach, are you saying, hey, let's do one, which is dribble drive, and two, pass it around? Or are they just figuring that out based on what they choose to do?
They're kind of figuring it out based on the offensive habits. So they're developing these habits offensively, and once we get into some of the more advanced layers in a few minutes, you'll see how that happens. However, again, the adaptability, the beauty of this offense is that if you want two east-west dribbles, a north-south dribble, and a kick out for a three, you can call that. You can design a quick hitter out of this offense. There's a million things that you can do when we get to circle reverse. You can say, I want 3 circle reverses and a kick out for a jump shot, or I want 3 circle reverses, a one dribble pull up right in the paint. You can give them any option you want, in any succession that you want. So when you're in practice, once your kids have this down, let's just say, by late June, your kids have layers 1 through 5, and they're ready to go. In your practice, rather than go, okay, start with circle, now do pass and cut, and make sure the baseline adjustment there. Instead of doing that, say, I want 3 dribble drives, kick outs, I want a baseline drive, a natural pitch for a jump shot. And you can give them that. And when you have your huddles in games, you'll find it's a lot easier. Once you see the tendencies of the defenders, you can say, okay, this is what I want you guys to do. This is what's going to work this possession. Give me 3 passing cuts, and then skip it. You should be wide open for a jump shot. That's a shot we're looking for. So it's not necessarily a play, but you can create a play out of it.
We just had that example. We scrimmaged 16 Premier, my team did, and Juicy's teaching all of his kids to way overplay and way deny every passing lane. So I called a timeout, and I said, it was actually, I think it was Amanda. I said, Amanda, as soon as you go to Phil, we're going to go pass and cut. Come here, Liz. Come here. I know that they were way overplay. So we'll say it's Allie now. So I'm going to go pass and cut. And as soon as Allie fills, I know that her defender was way overplaying. So I said, as soon as she passes and cuts, right back over. Did you like that? So again, the reason that we like this and Larry likes this is it teaches you to read the defense. It teaches kids how to play the game of basketball. It's not, okay, you set a pick here and you have to cut here. We do this stuff to teach the motions, but then it gets down to reading the defense. If you have a defense that's way overplaying you, then you're going to cut back door. If you know that your defender doesn't jump to the ball, then you're going to go pass and cut. So that as soon as you pass, you can cut. What you do is going to be based off what the defense does. But first, we have to teach them how to make those cuts, and then teach them to make the reads from the defense.
I'm probably getting ahead, maybe, but when you're talking about, let's say they do something, they read something, they back cut, it's a little different from the motion you're running. When you're starting to teach it in the beginning, do you tell the kids, if something happens and it doesn't work, you just fill the 5 spots?
Yep.
Those spots.
Because even there's going to be times that it's going to get congested. Somebody's going to make the wrong cut eventually. Right. But that's the beauty of this, is that if Liv makes the wrong cut, all you have to do is clear back out to the 1-5 spot. You don't have to reset the offense. Right. I mean, you can start the offense with Amanda with the ball in the corner. It doesn't matter. Just refill the 5 spots, and then you're right back in.
And again, if you're throwing it back, ball will start ahead to Amanda, it's Aaron pass, he's out in the corner. She catches it out here, doesn't have anything, she's out here in the corner resetting. You have 4 players coming down, looking to fill a specific spot. She's already got the ball in motion. If she makes a move, everybody knows where to go. So this could be your secondary break. This can come right out of your transition. So if you're a fast breaking team and you want to get a fast break, you don't get anything out of it. As your players are coming down the court, they have to cross this line, which I'm going to talk about right now before I move on to the next stage. They have to cross that line. So if they cross and your center stops here, he crosses, and Amanda goes to make a specific move, she goes baseline, that post knows that they're not going to go over and clog her, because chances are, if that post keeps coming down here to the block and Amanda's got to drive, they're bringing a big defender with them, and she might be in trouble. She may or may not be in trouble. Okay. And the other thing, which I probably should have mentioned earlier, and I didn't get to, is this three-point line is very important. If you notice those orange dots, which most of you should be getting in your equipment kits from Larry. When you get your equipment kits, it'll be coming soon. But you should be getting a set of these, probably a set of 10, because most of you guys have 10 players, or hopefully, ideally, you have 10 players in your team, and you can have 2 different sets of kids running this on 2 ends of the court, so you can get as many players working as possible.
New equipment kits.
Because it's not going to matter what 5 they're playing with or what other group they're playing with. You can put any group on the floor. As long as they know the habits, the offensive habits, they can do it. This three-point line becomes really important. If I'm playing way off of Allie here, is she going to drive? Chances are she's not going to drive. So one of the things that's going to teach her is that if I'm giving her space and she can shoot the ball, shoot the ball. She's got it. You got to find the point out for this. Okay? But if I'm playing up over this line or if I'm playing her up tight, again, we're going to look to attack the basket. When she goes to pass the ball and pass it up, okay, stop right there. Now, one of the reads that she's going to make is whether or not I step over the line. Because if I step over this line,